It's been the toughest year, but it's been the most reinvigorating year at the same time.
Thomas Courtney is this year's Elementary School Teacher of the Year at San Diego Unified School District. He said teaching during the pandemic meant readjusting his expectations for his students and for himself.
But there were some moments where I just had to step aside and say, this is my typical standard, and now my standard for right now is going to be here, and I'm going to be okay with that. And that was tough to do.
Courtney said the hardest part of this year was watching his students struggle through a computer screen. He recalled one student whose family lost their home during the pandemic.
You're seeing them on the screen, packing, struggling through that, and then there's the uncertainty. They weren't sure if they were going to be able to stay. They weren't sure where they were going.
But it wasn't just the pandemic that defined the school year. After the murder of George Floyd last summer, conversations about race in the classroom changed.
We talked about the origin of racism. We talked about, systemic racism, and we talked about how it influences their lives, and if not, how it influences other people's lives.
Sharon Apple is San Diego Unified's High School Teacher of the Year. She teaches ethnic studies and 9th grade English at Hoover High. Apple says for the first time in her 20-year career, she was able to address her experiences as a Black educator.
It gives me permission to talk about this fear that I've lived with most of my life. And once I start to talk about it and acknowledge it, then I can start to dissipate it and heal from it.
She said winning Teacher of the Year this year is an overwhelming experience.
I still don't know how to take it, to be that I have been seen, because for a good majority of my career, I felt invisible. And the fact that I am being seen is amazing, and it's still surreal.
The district's Middle School Teacher of the Year is Guadalupe Celadon from the Creative and Performing Media Arts Middle School. Joe Hong, KPBS News.